We got Victor KJ in the house today. I want everyone to give a warm welcome. Let's take a look. Victor KJ.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Let's just kill the music for a second.
Yep, let's do it.
Because I want you to tell the people how all of this came to be, because a lot of people are going to ask, yo, Deb, how'd you get into music? I'll give you a quick synopsis. I'll give you a quick background. So I was always into music as a little kid. I grew up with a ton of different influences, and I used to be a skater. As I was skating one day with the rich kid who had the skate park around the street from me,
in his
backyard, I met this guy, and after we met, we started going skating. We started meeting up and going to different places. The band Shell in Rutherford and a whole bunch of places. Then we started going to Hackettstown. Now on the way back from Hackettstown, he's playing a song on the radio. Okay. I'm like, yeah, that's dope. Who is that? And he's like, you don't know who that is? And I was like, who is it? And he just starts rapping with it. And I was like, whoa, damn! Bro, you can do that. That's crazy. You're dope. So from that day on, I was like, I rap a little bit too. And I like play on my keyboard. I work on beats and stuff. So I let him hear some stuff. And he was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And he invited me over one day to work on his MPC. And that day changed my life forever. From that day and that moment on, it went from the MPC 60. Now it's like this here. So, and I got the live too. Yeah, but just to put things into perspective. So ever since that day, I've just been all about music. But what brought it to that day in particular is really something special. And I want KJ to share this with you because it's just an incredible story and you got to hear it for yourself.
Okay.
Take it away.
Are we going back to way beginning with this?
That was the wrong camera.
Okay. So yeah, well, I'm talking. Oh, there I am. Hi. Hi, Victor KJ. How you doing? You got the right camera right there. How's it going? Like at first, very beginning for me was to get beats for myself. I used to have a tape recorder, and I used to just try to connect beats with the tape player, thing like that, and I used to rap over that. Then I had a karaoke machine, and that was sadly my only way to get music for myself for a little bit, just to rap with a beat that I liked and keep it going without someone's voice in it. As soon as when I started getting kind of figuring out my own style and things like that, I moved to Rutherford, and I was still doing the same thing. There's this candy store that I used to like in Garfield, and I remember I needed a money order, and for some reason I decided to go all the way back to Garfield where I was living. It's not a short ride either, and I wanted the money order from there for just no reason at all. I just drove all the way over there and just happened to get that. And I take out my money to get the money order, and there's another little money packet there, and I'm like, oh my God! Wow! Okay, well, this isn't mine. This is, okay, so somebody in this store just left this here, and I was like, fine. I got my money order, and I left. Then again, I was like, oh, wait a minute, Brian, are you crazy? Go back in the store and check to see if that belongs to anybody. Lo and behold, it doesn't belong to anyone in the store. And so I gladly take it. And I get out into the car and I'm like, okay, it was probably just a couple bucks. It's just a couple bucks, this and that.
But before you get to how much, before you get into that,
okay,
explain to him why it was so crazy that you found out. What happened before you found that?
Not long before that, I was denied credit to get my first MPC. They just said, oh no, your credit's not really good, dude. I'm sorry, we can't do it right now.
Denied.
And I was like, fine. I walked out of the store a little upset. And then, that was probably a couple weeks before I ended up going to that store and finding that money in there. It was actually kind of crazy. Like I said, I was in the car with the money. By the time I get $1,000, I'm ready to tear up. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm shaking, I started sweating. I was honest enough to actually come back the next day to find out if anyone had lost anything. I was like, did anyone lose anything? Amount of money, this, whatever. He's like, what do you want? What do you want? Just what do you want? And I was like, fine, I'll just take a cup of candy or something. And I paid for the candy and I just left. I even came around a couple days later to find out that's how I funded myself at that time. I ran out to New York City and I knew right where to go. There was a store that had a used MPC 60 there. And I knew what I wanted. I didn't even know how to use it yet. I had no instruction, but I knew I wanted it. So I get to the store. I had $100 left after I purchased my first MPC 60. They didn't even have a box or anything. They gave me a bag. So I was all the way up there, 125th Street. in New York City. I come out with a garbage bag over my MPC 60 to take it to the train. I took the train out there. There was just no other way. That's all I knew at the time. I didn't know anything else. Somehow I got this thing on the subway. I got it through the turnstile, everything like that. I'm sitting on the train with this big thing sitting on my lap. People are staring at me. And I was like just sitting there with a smile on my face. I got my beat machine. This is it. This is it. The buttons are poking out and people are staring at it. They didn't know if it was a bomb or what. But I got this thing home back to New Jersey, and that's where that really started. I had to get a friend of mine to go online to give me instructions on how to use it, because I was just pressing buttons. Everything looked like buttons. Soon after that, he said, "Oh, you forgot to press load." Oh, press load. That's when I first learned how to sample. I was like, that button, load. To the pad. Now I get it. Somewhere along the line, like, I started getting better at just sampling in general. And I was a skater also. And I used to just run out and I just used to meet new people all the time. So Dev 1 happened to be one of those people at the band show he was just talking about. I met a lot of people. So initially, like, I was just doing my thing. You know, I didn't really think I was teaching anybody anything. I was just showing people stuff that I do. And it felt cool for me, and it kind of spread out to a bunch of different people. It turned into something much bigger. We were all just having fun and just writing and finally having beats of our own. It just felt like a new world, and it just snowballed. Now we're big, man. We're looking at a big studio right here. When I first had that MPC 60, it was on a box. We were actually making beats on a box and a really cheap speaker. And now to see where we are right now, it's just nuts. It's just nuts.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I got my mic on a chair. Okay? I got it on a chair right now. You don't even know. But yeah, so it really did snowball from him trying to go and buy an MPC, getting denied credit, then a week later going to get a money order, getting the exact amount of money plus that he needed, then making beats, making a bunch of music, years down the line, meeting me, working together with me, showing me the MPC, getting me really into beat making. And now, as you could see it, we got all this. This is what it turned into. So, ladies and gentlemen, the audio bank, technically brought to you by Mr. KJ over here. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't, like I said, I don't want to really take the credit because you did run off on your own and do your own thing, you know, and I understand a lot more about music and DAWs and things like that from you. So it's a good return, you know what I mean? It's full circle thing. Oh God.
He's telling the truth.
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, that's me. We're trying to use this thing right now.
Figuring to stop it. Stop pressing buttons, please.
I need a programmer to do this stuff for me in the booth, you know what I mean? I think that's the next step. So if you guys want to know where the audio bank is going, the ultimate plan, I would say, is I want to keep expanding just past this studio and this room into something that is bigger, better. You know, something where we have a lot more space and we have a huge console, giant SSL
Make a lot
console.
of noise. And make a lot of noise.
Make a ton of noise.
Yes, indeed.
And
Yes, indeed.
where I don't need microphones hanging off the chair. But I have you know, a programmer back in the program room, hitting all the buttons on this thing, making the memes happen in real time because they're funny with it. Because honestly, I just want to stick to making the music and stuff like that. But that's where we're at, and this is the story of how it all came to be. Brought to you by Mr. Victor KJ. Ladies and gentlemen, let's thank Victor KJ for being here today. Thank you, KJ.
Thank myself. Look at me, I look great on camera. Look at me, look at me, look at me, man.
Why don't you bring him out with some of your music, bro?
All right, let me see what I got here, man. I'm playing around with stuff.
2,000 years later.
See what I mean? This is how we gotta do it, bro. We gotta get more jams going on, and we'll be back next time. Catch you live. Audiobank.com. Check out the website. Buy some stuff in the shop. Show some support. Show some love. Peace.
Do it.
Yeah, boy.